So we've just done our first 20k month of the year. Let's talk about it. Week 32 of documenting my business journey until we hit £1 million in revenue. And if you're new here, my name's David. I run Affinity Media and we are a video production company that now specialises in two different things. And we're going to talk about that in this video. So if you've been following this journey for a while, you'll know that we've had an absolute nightmare since the start of the year pretty much. We've sort of lacked identity, direction, and then we definitely lacked revenue. We've nearly gone out of business twice and we've borrowed £40,000 just to stay afloat. I've worked in so many different industries, niches, sectors. When I very first set up, we were working with bands and musicians in theatres. We then went into private sector, startup, entrepreneurship, personal brand, YouTube. We then went into NHS, we went to local government, we went to national government, then we done loads of work with charities, and then we went into kind of like sales content, conversion content, and all these other things. Eventually we decided to buy another business, and that actually fell through weeks before completion earlier this year. We then came back to a video agency that we'd more or less started to close down and realised that we needed to revive it in order to keep going. So at the start of this year, we decided to pivot again, this time into really high-level premium production for stand-up comedians, an industry that I absolutely love. But the biggest mistake that I made in this transition was listening to all of the kind of niche down and just go for it business advice, which fundamentally I do agree with, but advice without the right context and nuance can be dangerous, and in our case, it turned out to be almost deadly. And so basically I've changed the strategy and realised that we are able to do both. We're going to continue pursuing all of the NHS work because we don't necessarily need to put that much effort into get the most out of our marketing. 80% of our work is already there in examples, BTS, testimonials, case studies with clients, and so we know that we can get a lot out of that. So rather than just throw that all to the side, we've decided that we are going to build on that as much as we can and allow that to cash flow us into the next industry. And then alongside that, I've made a few uncomfortable changes, conversations with myself and clients that I probably didn't want to have, because I thought that it would sacrifice us being easy to work with and all that sort of stuff. And, whether that's just actually chasing proposals, being a little bit more on it in terms of project turnarounds and pushing and chasing for feedback, and then also just payment terms in terms of work. We are a business at the end of the day. You don't go to Asda or sign up to Netflix or do all these things and be presented with a billing page and then say, oh, actually, no, we're going to do this a different way. And you choose your suppliers based on the way that they operate as well as the product that they produce. And all of that basically has consolidated almost 3 months worth of work and quotes that maybe would have been dragged out to the end of the year into a 20k month. We've just been persistent and pushed on, and it's worked. Onwards and upwards, and I'll see you next week.